the next topic. I think it does relate to a lot of these things. And this is about car repossessions. So let me pull up my notes here. I have a couple. It's such a crazy time right now to be living in.
Car repossessions?
I'm going to be talking about car repossessions, but a couple of other things too that I wanted to talk about. And I would say that this is really important to listen to for people who aren't maybe as financially literate or maybe need to educate themselves maybe a little bit more about what's happening within the broader economy. And I think that I personally would just want everyone to be financially safe. But let me say this. So many Americans right now are at the risk of having their car repossessed.
I believe it.
So the rate of American borrowers rate of American borrowers at least 60 days overdue is nearly up 1%. Or actually it's a lot higher. So let me just say this. Average monthly new vehicle payments are $730.
Wait, what?
Yes, that's the
average?
That's the average. That's the US average right now.
That's insane. Like, I wonder what their interest rates are. Because, I mean, I didn't get a great interest rate. But, I mean, like, that seems a bit wild.
Yeah, so the thing that's happening right now is that interest rates are also playing a huge part of it, and it's actually not 1%, it's 18%. So there's a delinquency right now of car payments that are 60 days overdue of like 18%. It's like pretty high.
That's insane.
But at the same time, this is also going to lead into other things too, because home foreclosures are up 18% too.
Really?
Yes, over 2022.
That's interesting.
So I think there's a correlation there that's happening. Well, I mean, correlation isn't always causation. We went through this already. Yes. So foreclosures right now are at one of their highest. Delinquencies for cars are also one of their highest. So it's the American public right now is in a really tough spot. I also wanted to say that you probably have already noticed this, but U.S. credit cards are also at one of their highest that they've ever been.
In terms of borrow rate or in terms of interest rates?
In terms of spending.
In terms of spending. I mean, that makes
spending.
Sense.
So this is gonna be an all package of people are not able to pay off their cars. People are not being able to pay off their homes, and people aren't paying their credit cards. U.S. credit card debt is at a record high of $930 billion. So this is just U.S. credit card debt. That debt surpasses the peak of 2008, which was $870 billion. So after the recession, the 2008 recession, people were putting a lot on credit cards. $870 billion to be exact. And right now we're surpassing that.
That's insane.
So, it's what do you think? What do you think right now of that information that I'm telling you?
Just in general, what do I think?
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot to unpack, because if you look at the rising credit card usage, is it that they're really spending that much out of their means, or is it that like things like commodities are going up at a rate that is higher than they can like manage? Because the wage, like the amount of people are getting paid for wages is not meeting a lot of people's need to survive, because a lot of even the low income like rent situations are still pretty pricey in terms of like if you're making the minimum wage and you have like kids and you have other like things to pay for. So like I think like there's just a lot of bills to pay, and
Yeah.
I don't think that um that the income or the increase in their income is not enough to like
Mm.
cover that, because like imagine if like for an example, if you have too many kids to the point, or you have enough, like a bunch of kids to where you would not find it economical to put them into daycare.
Yeah.
So that's only one person working, and then that's as one income for like a bunch more dependents.
Mm. Mm.
Or it's like you have to have one income, but then they pay for childcare in the meantime, or like
Yeah, I think it's complicated. I think it's like I think
yeah,
just to say it's super complicated.
it is very very complicated. I mean,
Um,
like that's not the only reason why, because it could be losing your job, etc. But I mean, that's just one example of where there's a lot of hardships when it comes to like being a parent, or just like having more mouths to feed, like because yeah, commodities, like I said, are
yeah,
going up.
yeah, and I think you've hit the nail on the head on certain aspects of it. The thing is that with rising inflation and interest, things have gotten more expensive, and like to your point, like in some of these things, in some of these cases, like the more people that there are within like a family, the harder it is.
Yeah,
And
just like providing for one person is it like
yeah, it's
pretty tough?
hard,
I'm like, oh
yeah.
my goodness,
But
I eat a lot.
yeah, the thing is too that these people have obligations in terms of rent, in terms of car payments,
Yeah,
where
car
they're
payments,
where yeah, which is crazy,
car insurances.
which is leading people to put more on their credit card than ever before. But I do have this wild statistic for you here.
Okay.
Sorry, I know it was a little rocky in the start, but we're getting into the groove of this one. Let me pull up my notes again. It says that Americans between the ages of 18 to 29 have a 76% higher delinquency rate than everyone else of credit card, which is 90 days. So
Interesting.
here, let me say delinquency rates for younger adults between the ages of 18 to 29% is 9.36. So if you have
Interesting.
100 young adults,
Yeah.
almost about 10% of them aren't going to make their card payments, their credit card payments. And just to put this in perspective, and I'm just saying it's like these are people with over 90 days late on paying their credit cards and credit card bills. And just to put this into perspective, the next age group between the ages of 30 to 39, their delinquency rate is 6%. So that's 3 whole percentage points higher.
If you're 29,
Yes.
you're more than likely gonna default on your credit.
Yeah, but that's crazy. That's a crazy statistic that this is happening. Like how are we getting into this situation? And I think it's like me personally, like I think I know a part of the answer, which is like inflation, and it's
Like outside effects.
yeah, like the effects that are
Yeah.
happening in the economy right now are playing a huge role in it. It's harder, like we just talked about it. It's harder
Yeah.
to find a job. It's harder to
It's hard to find
things.
like a good, well-paying job. Like you could
Yes.
probably find, okay, maybe not find a job, but I mean, like you're mostly, if you wanted to find a job doing something but not get paid a lot,
Yeah.
there's probably something you could do. But like to
Yes.
get paid a lot, or like what you think you want to be made or making.
Or even enough to just survive.
Yes.
So there's a couple of things, by the way. This story for me, I think it's hard for me to read because like I personally do care about like people's like financial situations, and I do
Yeah.
care about like where people are, and like trying to essentially say it's like
I mean,
just to be more cognizant, like it maybe like don't overextend, don't extend past your means. I
Yeah.
do read like
or
it's
delay your satisfaction, or delay like I don't know, delay having something nice for a little
Yeah.
bit until you can afford it.
Yeah, so it's just it's crazy because like um I do see that I do see that what do you call it? It's yeah, I think that there's a couple of things. It's just keeping yourself financially safe is like my
Mm-hmm.
main point of all this.